In this video, we will introduce activities. Android applications consist of loosely tied components. Components of one app can invoke or use components of other apps. Most importantly, there is no single entry point to an Android app. There is no main function or any equivalent. Instead, there are predefined events called intents that developers can tie their components to, thereby enabling their components to be activated on the occurrence of the corresponding events. Activities, just as the window is the main building block of all visual interaction in window-based GUI systems, activities are the main building block in an Android app. Unlike a window, however, activities cannot be maximized, minimized, or resized. Instead, activities always take the entirety of the visual area and are made to be stacked on top of one another in the same way as a browser remembers web pages in the sequence they were accessed, allowing the user to go back to where he was previously. Let's look at a basic example of an activity. Here I have an app activity, which extends activity. The onCreate method is called when the activity is first created. Android system initiates its program with an activity starting with a call to onCreate callback method. There's a sequence of callback methods that start up an activity and a sequence of callback methods that tear down an activity. Here I have another method that is a callback method, the onStart. This is called when the activity is about to become visible. And notice that I put in here a log.d message the onStart event. And we're going to take a look at these log messages as we run our app. I also have the callback method onResume. This is called when the activity has become visible. I also have here the onPause method, and this is called when another activity is taking focus. The onStop callback method is called when the activity is no longer visible, and the onDestroy is called just before the activity is destroyed. Now let's demonstrate our functionality. I already have the Android emulator up and running, and I also already have installed my app on the emulator. If you want to run it, right-click on your project, select Run As Android Application. Let's take a look at the messages here on our logcat window. Notice the messages that I have here. The last message I have here is a system process message. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click my app and watch how the messages here. And we can see that the onCreate, the onStart, and the onResume event are being displayed to our log. Now, if I click the back button, watch what happens. The onPause event was displayed. Now the onStop and the onDestroy. So we can see each of our callback methods being called depending on what we're doing with our app. This concludes our discussion of activities.